So back in 2015, a gentleman came to me because he was suffering from some severe anxiety. He just started a brand new role as a regional sales director for a very well-known luxury retail brand. And he'd been there about 2 or 3 months, and he was noticing that every time he was about to step into a leadership team meeting, he was having really bad anxiety, to the point whereby by the time he got into that meeting, he was visibly sweating. And obviously that was really making him incredibly self-conscious, but it was also knocking his confidence. And he just wanted to work on that. So when he came to me, he told me that prior to this, he had been made redundant from his previous position. And he had then had about 6 months where he had not been working, and now he'd got this new role. His confidence was on the floor, and it was all because of this redundancy. Now, what came out through the coaching process and what he discovered is that the reason that redundancy had floored him so badly was because his self-worth and his identity was very much linked to his job title, his salary, what he had, what he owned. It was very much built around that. And his social circle was very much filled with people who essentially competed on what kind of car they had and where they lived and what sort of clothes they were wearing, what watch did they have. And that was just putting so much pressure on him to keep up with that, because he had this fear that if he didn't keep up with that, they wouldn't want to hang around with him anymore. So we worked on that through the coaching process, and one of the beautiful things that came out of the coaching was in the last session, he decided that he was going to emigrate to Australia, and he had opened up his home to his housekeeper and all of her friends and family, inviting them in, and just simply said, take what you want. And we're talking designer label stuff. And he literally just said, come in, you can have it all. And not only was that an amazingly kind thing to do, but from his perspective, that was almost like a ceremony of letting go of who he used to be and welcoming in this new individual whose self-worth was so much more intrinsically driven rather than extrinsically. And this is the point that if our self-worth is tied to something outside of us, it just means that we have very little control over how we perceive ourselves and how we feel about ourselves on a day-to-day basis, because the moment those things are taken away from us, our self-esteem and our self-worth is on the floor. So if you're suffering from low self-esteem right now or low self-worth, have a think, what am I potentially linking my self-worth to right now? And can I do some work on my inner worth that's going to help me in the future?